The sound of their laughter cut deeper than walking in on them naked. There they were, tangled on my grandmother's antique couch, the one I'd insisted we keep when Kent and I moved in together. Melanie's head thrown back in theatrical amusement, Kent's smirk more cruel than I'd ever seen it. "Sandra, you're home early." Melanie's voice dripped with fake concern as she lazily pulled Kent's shirt over her chest. "We were just celebrating," Kent finished, not bothering to move. "Face it, babe, you had to know something was wrong when I kept postponing the wedding." I'm Sandra Wilson, and that moment 2 years ago changed everything. Not because of the betrayal, though finding your fiancé and best friend together is bad enough, but because of how they laughed, like I was the punchline to their private joke. Today, I straighten my blazer and step into the elevator of Crawford and Associates, my heels clicking against polished marble. Senior management position, corner office. The view of Manhattan that Kent always dreamed about. Funny how spite can fuel success. "Morning, Ms. Wilson." Zara hurries to match my stride, tablet in hand. "Your 9 a.m. orientation is ready. New teams waiting in the conference room." "Thanks, Zara. Coffee first." "Already on your desk. Black, 2 sugars." She pauses, glancing at her screen. "Oh, and HR sent up the final personnel files. Looks like they assigned that junior coordinator you requested." My lips curl slightly. Perfect. The office still has that new paint smell. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the city like a portrait of possibility. I set my bag down, taking a moment to savour this. 2 years of 60-hour weeks, night classes, and carefully crafted connections led here. "Sandra?" Alexander appears in my doorway, classic power suit and concerned expression. "Team's ready when you are." "Coming." I grab my coffee, already lukewarm, just like revenge. The conference room falls silent as I enter. 12 faces turn to me, eager to impress their new boss, but I only see one. There, third seat from the left, Melanie Shaw sits with her perfect posture and practiced smile. She doesn't recognize me yet. Amazing what switching from contacts to glasses and dyeing blonde hair back to brown can do. "Good morning, everyone." My voice is steady, professional. "I'm Sandra Wilson, your new Senior Manager of Operations." I scan the room, letting my gaze slide past Melanie like she's nobody. Inside, my heart pounds victory drums. "Over the next few weeks, we'll be restructuring the department. Some of you will be reassigned, others will take on new responsibilities." I click to the first slide. Excellence is non-negotiable. Mediocrity will not be tolerated. Melanie raises her hand, eager as always. "Ms. Wilson, I have some ideas for the Robertson account that could—" "All proposals need to go through proper channels," I cut her off. "See my assistant to schedule time." Her smile falters just slightly. Good. The meeting continues. I outline expectations, deadlines, consequences. Professional, detached, everything my mother taught me to be. When we finish, Melanie lingers, gathering her papers slowly. "Miss Wilson?" She approaches my laptop. "I just wanted to say how excited I am to work with you. Your reputation precedes you." "Does it?" I look up, finally meeting her eyes fully. There it is, that flicker of recognition, the slight widening of eyes, the sharp intake of breath. She knows. You look familiar somehow." I smile, cold as January. "Do I? How strange. That will be all, Miss Shaw." She backs away, uncertainty replacing her usual confidence. At the door she turns. "I could have sworn—" "Better hurry," I say softly. "Don't want to be late on your first day under new management." The door closes behind her. I stand at the window, watching my reflection smile. 2 years ago, they laughed at my pain. Now I have all the time in the world to make sure the joke's on them. My phone buzzes, a text from Kent. "Heard about your promotion? Drinks to celebrate old times?" Perfect timing. Let the games begin. "Your 10 a.m. is here," Zara announces, poking her head into my office. It's Melanie. She brought coffee. Of course she did. Classic Melanie move, charm offensive with a caffeine chaser. Send her in. Melanie enters, all smiles and designer blazer, carrying 2 steaming cups. I noticed you prefer black coffee, 2 sugars, right? I don't touch the cup she sets down. What can I help you with, Mrs. Shaw? Please call me Melanie. She perches on the edge of the chair, crossing her legs. I wanted to discuss my role in the department. I have so many ideas for improving our workflow efficiency. Just like old times, always positioning herself as the smartest person in the room. I remember how she'd do the same thing at dinner parties, talking over me to impress Kent. Actually, I say, pulling up her file on my computer, I've been reviewing your performance metrics. They're concerning. Her smile wavers. Concerning? But Mr. Harvey just praised my work last quarter. Earl can be quite generous with praise. I turn my screen to show her a spreadsheet I've carefully doctored. Your project completion rate is 23% below target. Client satisfaction scores are dropping. There must be some mistake. She leans forward, squinting at the numbers. I've never received negative feedback. Perhaps you've been coasting on charm rather than substance. The barb hits home. Her perfectly manicured hands clench slightly. A knock at the door saves her from responding. Alexander enters, looking between us with raised eyebrows. Sorry to interrupt. Sandra, the quarterly meeting's been moved up. Everyone's gathering now. Perfect timing. I stand, smoothing my skirt. We'll continue this discussion later, Miss Shaw. For now, I suggest you focus on improving those numbers. The quarterly meeting is where I'll truly twist the knife. The entire executive team is present, including Earl Harvey himself when I take the podium. Before we discuss Q4 projections, I begin, I'd like to address the restructuring of my department. Melanie sits near the back, still trying to project confidence. She doesn't know what's coming. As you can see from the data, I click through my presentation, certain areas require immediate attention. I'll be implementing a new hierarchy effective immediately. I display the org chart. There's Melanie's name, demoted 2 levels down, now reporting to a fresh graduate I hired last week. The room breaks into murmurs. Melanie's face goes white. Additionally, I continue, all client communications will now require senior approval, no exceptions. It's the final blow, taking away her direct client contact, the thing she's most proud of. I watch her try to maintain composure as whispers ripple through the room. After the meeting, Zara catches up to me in the hallway. That was brutal. Did you see her face? Just implementing necessary changes. Sure. Zara's tone suggests she's not buying it. By the way, some guy named Kent called twice while you were in there. My phone buzzes again. Another text from Kent. Playing hard to get? Come on, Sandra, let's talk about old times. Delete. Later that evening, as I'm preparing to leave, Melanie appears in my doorway. Her makeup is slightly smudged. She's been crying in the bathroom. Why are you doing this? Her voice shakes. Is it because you think you know me from somewhere? I look at her coldly. Your performance speaks for itself, Ms. Shaw. If you're unhappy with your position, you're welcome to seek opportunities elsewhere. This isn't fair. I've worked too hard to what? Sleep your way up? The words slip out before I can stop them. She freezes, really looking at me now. Recognition dawns in her eyes, followed by fear. Oh God, Sandra! I stand slowly, enjoying the moment. That will be all, Ms. Shaw. Don't forget to submit your weekly progress report. It's due tomorrow morning. She backs away, trembling slightly. You can't. This is workplace harassment. Is it? Document your complaints appropriately. I'm sure HR will be fascinated by your history of professional relationships. The door closes behind her with a satisfying click. I pick up the untouched coffee she brought and drop it in the trash. Tomorrow, the real fun begins. My phone buzzes one more time. Unknown number. You've changed, Sandra, but I see you. We all do. Let's review your performance metrics for the week, shall we? I tap my pen against Melanie's report, enjoying how she squirms in her chair. 3 missed deadlines, 2 client complaints, and an formatting error that cost us hours of rework. The deadline's changed without notice, she protests weakly. And those clients? Take responsibility for your failures, Miss Shaw. It's unbecoming to make excuses. My phone vibrates. Another text from Kent. I glimpse his message. Remember that weekend in Vegas, before everything went wrong? Delete. I'm trying my best, Melanie's voice cracks. But it feels like... Like what? Like someone's out to get you? I lean forward. Paranoia doesn't suit you. A knock interrupts us. Zara enters with an urgent expression. Sorry, but your mother's here. My blood runs cold. What? Says she won't leave until she sees you. Rose Wilson stands in my office reception area, perfectly coiffed as always, radiating disapproval. Finally achieving something, and you can't even call your mother? I'm in a meeting, I say through gritted teeth. You're always in a meeting, just like your father was. She inspects her manicure. Before he ran off with that secretary. Melanie hovers uncertainly by my office door, clearly eavesdropping. Perfect. Actually, Mother, we were just discussing workplace propriety. Perhaps you'd like to share your expertise on inappropriate relationships? Rose's eyes narrow. Careful, Sandra. Bitterness ages a woman faster than sun damage. I learned from the best. I turn to Melanie. We're done here. Don't forget the Johnson presentation tomorrow. But that's Patrick's project? Not anymore. I expect a full analysis by 9 a.m. After Melanie scurries away, Rose sits uninvited in my visitor's chair. I saw Kent recently. He asked about you. Of course he did. He's broke and desperate. He's changed. People deserve second chances. I laugh sharply. Like Dad got second chances? 20th chances? Your father was a cheating bastard who destroyed our family, just like Kent and... I stop myself. Rose's expression softens slightly. Ah, now I understand. This promotion isn't about success at all, is it? You don't understand anything. I stand. I have work to do. You're becoming me, Sandra. Cold, calculating. Is that what you want? Before I can respond, Alexander appears. Sandra, got a minute? There's an issue with the quarterly numbers. Rose takes the hint and leaves, but not before delivering a parting shot. Revenge is a poison you drink yourself, hoping others die. Later that evening, I'm reviewing Melanie's previous performance reviews, all glowing thanks to her close working relationship with the former manager. An envelope slides under my door, inside a single sheet of paper. Still bitter after all this time? Careful, some games are dangerous to play. My hands shake as I crumple the note. A movement catches my eye, a shadow passing my office window, but when I look up, the hallway is empty. My phone rings. Kent again. What? I snap, answering finally. Heard you're making life difficult for Melanie. His voice is smug. Still can't let it go, huh? Funny, I heard you can't let go of your gambling debts. How many bookies are you hiding from now? Silence. Then. You've gotten mean, Sandra. It's not attractive. Neither is desperation, Kent. Stop calling me. I hang up and notice a new email from Earl. Concerns raised about department morale. Meeting tomorrow to discuss. Fine, let them investigate. I've documented everything meticulously. Every performance issue carefully constructed. Every metric technically accurate. They'll find nothing but a demanding boss with high standards. My office door creaks open. Melanie stands there, mascara streaked down her face. The Johnson presentation, she says. It's impossible. You know it's impossible. Nothing's impossible with proper dedication. Please, she whispers. I'll lose my job. Should have thought about that before. I turn back to my computer. Close the door on your way out. After she leaves, I pull up the real Johnson presentation, the one I've already prepared. Tomorrow I'll watch her fail spectacularly, then swoop in with the save. My phone buzzes one final time. Unknown number. Karma's coming, Sandra, and she's wearing your face. The boardroom falls silent as Melanie's presentation crashes and burns. Her hands tremble as she clicks through incomplete slides, stumbling over half-formed analysis. Perhaps, I interrupt smoothly, I can help clarify the Johnson situation. I connect my laptop, bringing up my perfectly prepared presentation. As you can see, the actual projections suggest. Earl nods approvingly as I walk through the numbers. Beside him, Alexander watches me with an unreadable expression. Melanie slumps in her chair, defeated. 2 years ago, she sat on my couch with that same smug smile while destroying my life. Now, sweet karma. After the meeting, Alexander corners me by the coffee machine. Interesting strategy, setting up your own employee to fail. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't you? He leans against the counter. The timestamp on your presentation shows it was created 3 days ago. Before I can respond, my mother's voice rings out across the break room. Sandra, darling. Mother, this is a place of business. And I'm here on business. She waves an envelope. Your father's lawyer sent these. He's contesting the divorce settlement. Again. Melanie, still gathering her papers nearby, perks up visibly. Not now, I hiss, but Rose continues. He claims he wasn't mentally competent when he signed. Apparently, sleeping with his secretary was a cry for help. She laughs bitterly. Men always have excuses, don't they? Like Kent's excuses, Melanie suddenly speaks up. When he said Sandra was too controlling, too career-focused. The room temperature drops 10 degrees. Rose looks between us, understanding dawning. Ah, she says softly. So this is her. Mother, leave. The best friend who... Now, after she's gone, Melanie approaches me. I remember everything now, the way you looked that day standing in the doorway. You didn't cry, you just watched. Fascinating revision of history. I recall more laughing, from both of you. We were drunk, it wasn't planned. Could have fooled me, given how quickly you moved into my house after I left. Alexander clears his throat. We both jump. I'd forgotten he was there. Ladies, perhaps this conversation should happen elsewhere. My phone buzzes. Kent again. Heard about the presentation, getting sloppy, Sandra. Want to grab dinner and talk strategy? Delete that, Alexander says quietly. Whatever game you're playing, it's going too far. Game? Melanie's eyes narrow. What game? Ask Kent, I snap. He seems eager to talk these days. Later that afternoon, I find Zara at my door looking uncomfortable. HR called. They want to discuss some concerns. Let me guess, Melanie filed a complaint? Actually, no. Anonymous source. They have screenshots of your old social media posts from 2 years ago. My stomach drops. I deleted everything from that time, but someone must have saved. The ones about Kent and Melanie, I ask. And the ones about revenge, making them pay, the whole thread. Perfect. Just perfect. I'm gathering my things to head to HR when Melanie appears one last time. She looks different, stronger somehow. I remember now, she says, not just the affair, everything before, how you always had to win, had to be perfect, how Kent came to me crying about your control issues. Fascinating rewrite. You know what's fascinating? How you haven't changed at all. Still the same Sandra, orchestrating everyone's lives like we're your personal chess pieces. Get out. Or what? You'll destroy my career? Too late. She smiles grimly. I quit this morning, but don't worry. I made copies of everything first. Every email, every doctored report. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. Check your email. Remember that security camera in the break room? I open my laptop. There it is. Video footage of me editing Melanie's performance reports after hours. Karma's funny, Melanie says from the doorway. Sometimes she wears your face. Sometimes she wears mine. She leaves me staring at the screen, watching myself become everything I once hated. Outside my office I hear her laugh. Not cruel this time, just tired. By the way, she calls back, Kent says hi, we had a very interesting lunch today. The HR meeting goes exactly as expected. Me, sitting perfectly poised while Linda from HR shuffles through printed screenshots of my old social media posts. "These are concerning, Sandra," she says, pushing her glasses up, "especially given recent complaints about your management style." "Ancient history," I reply smoothly. "Posted during a difficult personal time, they've since been deleted." "The internet never forgets," Alexander says from his corner of the conference room. "Why is he even here?" "Neither do I snap before catching myself. Linda clears her throat. "We're also concerned about this security footage, which was obtained illegally," I interrupt. "Recording employees without consent violates company policy." "Not when there's suspected misconduct," Alexander counters. My phone buzzes. Kent. "Having fun yet?" Melanie says hi from her interview at Richardson and Partners. The meeting drags on. I deflect, deny, redirect. By the end, Linda looks exhausted. "We'll need time to review everything," she says finally. "In the meantime, please refrain from any direct contact with Melanie. That won't be difficult since she quit." Alexander follows me back to my office. "You're playing a dangerous game." "You keep saying that. What game exactly?" "The one where you destroy yourself trying to destroy others." Before I can respond, Rose appears. Again. "Emergency," she announces, barging in. "Your father's getting remarried. To guess who?" "The secretary," I laugh bitterly. "How original." "No." Rose's face is tight. "To Melanie's mother." The room spins slightly. "What?" "Apparently they've been dating for months, since that charity gala where—" She stops, watching my face. "You didn't know? Get out." My voice sounds strange, distant. "Both of you, get out." Alone, I pull up the charity gala photos from 6 months ago. There they are, Dad and Patricia Shaw looking cosy in the background of every shot, which means... My phone rings. Melanie. "Now you know," she says when I answer. Funny how karma works. "You knew. This whole time, you knew." Of course I knew. Mum told me right after they started dating. Said she'd met him at your engagement party, the one you insisted on having at his country club. The pieces click together. "That's why you went after Kent." "Originally? Yes. Seemed fitting. Your father stole my parents' marriage, so I'd steal your future husband." She laughs softly. "But then Kent turned out to be so enthusiastic about the idea." "You're lying." "Check your email. I sent you some interesting text messages from before the affair, way before." My hands shake as I open the attachments, screenshots of conversations between Kent and Melanie, dating back months before I caught them, planning, scheming, Kent. She's so focused on the wedding, she doesn't suspect anything. Melanie. Perfect. Dad's secretary was the same way before Mum found out. Kent. Speaking of your mum, how's it going with Sandra's dad? Melanie. Great, he's totally into her. Sandra's going to lose everything, just like my mum did. The timestamps mock me. While I was planning my wedding, they were planning my destruction. A knock at my door. Zara enters cautiously. "Sandra, there's someone here to see you." Kent strolls in, looking exactly like he did 2 years ago. "Hey babe, bad day?" "Get out." "Can't. Board meeting in 10 minutes. Didn't Melanie tell you? Richardson and Partners just bought controlling interest in Crawford and Associates." His smile turns cruel. "Say hello to your new boss." "You're lying." "Check the morning's press release. Earl's retiring, board's restructuring, and guess who's taking over your department?" My computer pings. New company-wide email announcing the acquisition. Kent's name and title. Incoming Director of Operations. "Karma's funny that way," he says, straightening his tie. "See you at the board meeting. Oh, and Sandra, wear something nice. First impressions matter." He leaves me staring at my screen, at my carefully constructed revenge crumbling around me. One final text lights up my phone. Melanie. "Now you know how it feels. When everything you built gets taken away. See you at the wedding. I'm thinking of wearing white. It's tradition for the stepsister of the bride, right?" The board meeting feels like a funeral, my funeral. Kent sits at Earl's right hand, smirking as he outlines the new direction for the company. And of course, he says, eyes fixed on me, we'll be streamlining management, eliminating redundancies. My phone vibrates. Melanie. Mum wants to know if you're bringing a +1 to the wedding. Oh, wait. Any questions? Kent asks the room. I raise my hand, keeping my voice steady. Just one. How long have you been planning this? Planning what? His innocent tone fools no one. The takeover. The timing seems convenient. Alexander shifts in his seat. Actually, I have some questions about the timing myself. Kent's smile falters slightly. All proper procedures were followed, including the insider trading. I pull out my phone, projecting screenshots onto the conference room screen. These are interesting conversations between you and certain board members, dating back 6 months. The room erupts in whispers. Kent's face darkens. Where did you get those? Zara, I say sweetly, is remarkably good at digital forensics and very loyal. Earl stands slowly. Kent, explain these messages. They're fake, obviously she... The SEC might disagree, Alexander interrupts, pulling out his own phone. They're very interested in the timing of certain stock purchases. Kent lunges for my phone. I step back, watching him stumble. You bitch! He snarls. You really think you can... Language, Kent, Melanie says from the doorway. Although she is a bitch, learned it from her mother. Both of you, Earl's voice booms. Out, now! The board needs to discuss this privately. In the hallway, Kent grabs my arm. You have no idea what you've done. Actually, I do. I shake him off. 6 months of planning, watching, waiting, just like you two did to me. We didn't. Save it. The SEC has everything. Your gambling debts, the insider trades, even those interesting wire transfers to offshore accounts. Melanie's face goes pale. What wire transfers? Oh, I smile. He didn't tell you about those? Ask your mother. She might be interested in where her investment money really went. Kent backs away. Mel, I can explain. Explain what? Rose appears, holding up her phone. How you stole from Patricia, used her relationship with Sandra's father to access trading information. Mom, I start, but she cuts me off. Quiet, Sandra. Let me handle this. She turns to Melanie. Your mother's on her way. She's quite interested in these bank statements. Melanie's perfect composure cracks. Kent, what did you do? Nothing. I just borrowed $2 million, I finish, from your mother's retirement fund, right after she got engaged to my father. The elevator dings. Patricia Shaw steps out, followed by my father. The look on his face is familiar, the same one he wore when Rose confronted him years ago. Patricia, Kent starts, I can explain. Save it. She looks at Melanie. Did you know? Mum, I did. You know? Silence answers her question. My father clears his throat. The wedding's off, Patricia. I'm so sorry. Don't be, she says quietly. At least we found out before history repeated itself. Security arrives to escort Kent out. As he passes me, he whispers, This isn't over. Actually, Alexander says, appearing with 2 men in suits, it is. SEC would like a word, Kent. I watch them lead him away, Melanie standing frozen in the hallway. For a moment I see myself 2 years ago, watching everything crumble. Satisfied? Rose asks softly. No, I admit. It doesn't fix anything. It never does. She touches my arm gently. Come on, I'll buy you a drink. My phone buzzes one last time. Alexander. Board meeting postponed. Your job is safe, but Sandra, get help. Don't let this define you. I look at Melanie, still shell-shocked by Kent's betrayal. She meets my eyes, and for a moment I see something familiar, the pain of being played for a fool. Karma's not done, she says quietly. No, I agree. She never is. We stand there, 2 women destroyed by the same man, wondering who really won in the end. Ms. Wilson, the SEC investigator taps his pen against his notepad. Let's go over the timeline again. I've been in this sterile conference room for 3 hours, recounting every detail of Kent's scheme. The fluorescent lights make everything feel surreal. Like I said, I noticed the irregularities when... The door opens. A woman walks in, elegant in a way that speaks of old money and older grudges. I'm Juliana Phillips, she announces, Kent's ex-wife, before Melanie, before Sandra. The investigator straightens. Mrs. Phillips, we weren't expecting you until... I have information. She sets a USB drive on the table. About Kent's pattern of financial arrangements. My phone buzzes. Melanie, we need to talk, alone. Excuse me, I tell the investigator, I need a break. I find Melanie in the building's courtyard, looking smaller without her usual armour of designer clothes and perfect makeup. Kent's being charged with fraud, she says without preamble. Mum's pressing charges too. I know. Did you know about Juliana? Should I? Melanie laughs bitterly. God, we're all so stupid. He did the same thing to her. Dated her best friend while they were engaged, stole her family's money. History repeats itself. No, Juliana says, approaching from behind. Men like Kent repeat themselves. We just play our assigned roles. She sits beside us, 3 women linked by the same man's betrayal. He married me for my trust fund, Juliana continues. When that ran dry, he moved on, found Melanie through my social circle. And me through Melanie, I add. And now he's going to prison, Melanie whispers, because of what we did to each other. My phone rings. Rose. Sandra, your father wants to talk about everything. Put him on. Sandra, Dad's voice cracks. I'm sorry for everything, for leaving, for Patricia, for not seeing what Kent really was. Little late for that. I know, but watching him hurt you, just like I hurt your mother. I couldn't stay silent. You stayed silent for 20 years. And I was wrong. Every day. Juliana touches my arm. You know what's worse than revenge? Forgiveness. It takes away their power completely. The courtyard falls quiet. Even the city seems to hold its breath. Dad, I say finally, I have to go. Back in the conference room, the investigator has more questions. About Kent's patterns, about how I gathered evidence, about my own role in everything. Did you manipulate company records to target Melanie Shaw? Yes. Why? Because revenge felt easier than healing. He nods, writing something down. And now? Now I'm tired of letting Kent write our stories. My phone lights up. Alexander. Board meeting tomorrow. Your future here depends on how honest you are. Zara appears at the door. Sandra, there's someone else here to see you. A young woman enters, barely 20, wearing intern clothes and Kent's familiar smirk. Hi, she says. I'm Amanda. Kent promised me your job after... well, you know. History repeating. Again. Amanda, I say slowly, sit down. Let me tell you a story about patterns. She listens as Juliana, Melanie and I take turns explaining. The charm, the promises, the careful grooming of ambitious young women. He said I was different, Amanda whispers. He always does, Juliana replies. My phone buzzes one last time. Kent. You think you've won? Ask Juliana about the baby she lost. Ask Melanie about the photos she took. Ask yourself why your father really left. I delete the message without reading it aloud. Some patterns need to break. So what happens now? Amanda asks. Now? I look at the women around me. Enemies turned allies by shared wounds. Now, we stop letting men like Kent make victims of us all. The investigator clears his throat. Ms. Wilson, about your position at the company... I know. I stand up. I'll have my resignation letter tomorrow. Actually, he says, the board wants to discuss a different position. Ethics Compliance Officer. Melanie laughs suddenly. Perfect. Who better to spot predators than their former prey? My phone stays silent. For the first time in years, I don't wait for it to buzz. The morning sun streams through my office window as I review another harassment complaint. Different names, same old story. "Your 9 a.m. is here," Zara announces. "It's Melanie." She enters, looking more like her old self, but somehow softer around the edges. "The support group is ready, 10 women so far." "All Kent's victims?" "Some. Others from similar situations. Juliana's leading the first session." I nod, thinking of the trail of broken women Kent left behind. The charges against him stuck: fraud, embezzlement, insider trading. But the real damage was never about money. "Sandra." Rose appears in the doorway. "Patricia's here too." They enter together, my mother and the woman who almost became my stepmother. The awkwardness has faded into something like understanding. "The foundation paperwork is finished," Patricia says, setting down a folder. "We're officially funded, supporting women rebuilding after financial abuse." "Kent's seized assets are being liquidated," Rose adds. "Poetic justice. His money helping the women he hurt." My phone stays silent these days. I deleted his number, blocked his calls. The last I heard, he was negotiating a plea deal. Alexander knocks on my door. "Ethics committee meeting in 10. We've got 3 new cases." "More predators?" "Always. But now we have better watchdogs." I gather my things, pausing at the mirror. The woman looking back isn't the same one who walked in on her fiancé 2 years ago. She's stronger, but also gentler. Wiser, but less certain. "You know what I realised," Melanie says suddenly. "We were never really fighting each other. We were fighting our own pain." "Deep thoughts for a Tuesday morning," I reply, but she's right. "Sandra?" Amanda pokes her head in. "That manager you flagged for review? 3 more interns came forward." "Document everything. We'll review it in the meeting." My father calls as I walk to the conference room. "Just checking in. Your mother mentioned the foundation launch is tonight." "It is. You coming?" "If you want me there." I think about patterns, about breaking them. "Yeah, Dad, I do." The ethics committee meeting runs long. We review cases, spot patterns, protect potential victims. It's not glamorous work, but it matters. Afterward, Juliana catches me by the elevator. "Kent's lawyer called. He wants to make a deal." "What kind of deal?" "Information about other schemes, other victims, in exchange for a lighter sentence." "What do you think?" She smiles grimly. "I think we don't need him anymore. We found each other without him." Back in my office, I find a note on my desk. From Melanie. "Remember when we thought happiness meant having the perfect man? We were such idiots." I laugh, remembering 2 young women who thought love meant competition, who measured worth in engagement rings and social status. "Sandra," Zara calls, "your next appointment is here." A young woman enters, clutching her purse like armour. I recognise the look in her eyes. I used to see it in my mirror. "I heard you help people," she says quietly. "Women who've been used." "We do. All of us." I gesture to the photos on my wall, the support group, the foundation board, the ethics committee, women helping women heal. "Tell me your story," I say, offering her a seat. "We'll figure out the next steps together." My phone buzzes, a group text from Juliana. "Kent took the plea deal, 15 years. I set the phone aside. His sentence doesn't matter anymore. We're writing our own stories now. "You know what the best revenge is?" I tell the young woman. "Living well, and helping others live well too." She manages a small smile. "Does it get easier?" "Better," I correct her. "It gets better." Outside my office, I hear familiar voices. Melanie, Juliana, Rose, Patricia. Women who were supposed to be enemies, now building something stronger than revenge. "Ready?" I ask my visitor. "The support group meets in 10 minutes. You're not alone anymore." She stands, straightening her shoulders. "Ready." We walk out together, leaving the past where it belongs. Some patterns break, some wounds heal, and sometimes the best revenge is becoming someone stronger than your pain ever imagined you could be.